everybody, welcome back for day 4 of our Holy Week daily devotionals, where today we are looking at this section in Matthew 26 where Peter denies Jesus. And so if you haven't read that section yet, it's a few different chunks and sections of verses in Matthew 26. Go ahead and read those and then come on back and we're going to be talking about them today, kind of going through this devotion together. And this first section says, think about it. Peter thought he could follow Jesus, even if it meant dying with him. But Jesus knew better. Jesus knew Peter and the other disciples were sincere in wanting to follow him, but in the face of crisis, all of them would scatter. Jesus would face the cross alone, just like he planned all along. And this first question here, it said, what did Peter and the other disciples believe about their ability to follow Jesus? And from the early section, verse 31 through 35, we read Jesus talking about that. And Peter, it says, he replied, even if all fall away on account of you, I never will. He's saying, I don't care what those guys do. I will never leave you. But right there it says, Jesus says, truly I tell you, this very night before the rooster crows, you'll disown me 3 times. Peter said, even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you. Like, he was confident. The disciples, they believed and they wanted to believe that they would never leave Jesus. Even though they knew that Jesus had just explained to them, this is coming, this is about to get real. And they're like, we're with you. No matter what, we're going to be with you. And Jesus said, I appreciate the thought, but you guys are not going to be with me. And Peter, he's kind of stubborn about it, and he says, you can say whatever you want, Jesus, but I'm right this time, which has always gone well for Peter in the past. Every time he tried to stand up to Jesus and talk about how good he was, that always seemed to work for him. But no. Then we skip ahead to question 2 here, and it says, why did Peter lie about knowing Jesus? And this next section we read, that first time he's lying to a little girl, I don't know, Jesus, don't hurt me, little girl. 3 different times Peter has to lie about knowing Jesus. And why did he lie? I don't know, fear? Maybe my best guess is I just imagine in all the chaos with all the people around and just screaming how much they hate Jesus, spitting on him and just being angry at Jesus, this mob of people. I assume that Peter was scared. He got scared about admitting that he would walk with Jesus. This next question, how did Peter feel when the rooster crowed? I imagine that fear went to shame, just embarrassed and scared. And it said here he went outside and wept bitterly. He didn't just go outside and wept. It wasn't a single tear that fell. He went outside and he wept bitterly. And I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in Peter's shoes here, because I can see that. I can see myself having fear, and in those moments of going up on a mission trip and talking to someone about my faith, and they kind of say I don't care, go away. And that kind of gut feel, oh no, kind of feeling that you get, and imagining an entire crowd around me just screaming how much they hate Jesus, and then saying wait, what was it? Aren't you one of them? And they kind of all turn on you, and you're just standing there I kind of you forget about that promise you made to Jesus a few hours ago, and you say that fear kind of overcomes you. And then once you realize that you let fear win, you let fear determine how you were going to react and say, I don't know him. And then you realize that you hear that rooster and it clicks. You're I gave in to that fear. I put a hand up to God and said, nope, I'm too scared right now. I have to do things my way so I can be comfortable again. And that moment that rooster crowed, how did he feel? He wept bitterly. Shame just overcame him. And I can relate to that. Maybe not on that scale. I never just truly denied Jesus to someone, but that moment where you let fear, the fear of someone judging you, or the fear of someone saying that's kind of weird, that's just throwing some shade at you for being a Christian, when you let that fear kind of overcome you and say oh yeah, but we can change the subject, or letting that kind of determine your actions in a way that I don't know, steers you away from God. Like that moment when you realize, like, I did that. There's some shame and some guilt there. I felt that before. I don't know if you have. I know I have. This last question: have you ever been too afraid to stand up for Jesus? And not directly, like I said before, not in a way that someone was like, "Are you a Christian?" And I was like, "Nope." But have I denied Jesus by being silent? Yeah. Have I denied Jesus by not stepping forward when maybe I should have? Yeah. And I can think of times in my life where maybe like I felt this pull in my heart to say, like, why don't you go talk to, watch out for the eggs, yes. Why don't you go talk to that person? And feeling like, God, I don't know, that's going to be uncomfortable. Or why don't you just give $2 in your wallet? Why don't you just give it to that guy who needs money? It's like, but I was going to get ice cream, and then I don't really want to. Or just those moments where you feel this pull to do something and I didn't. Or this, maybe I should do something, or it'd probably be right for me to stand up and get in the way of these two people bullying this person and say, hey guys, that's not right. And stand up for what I believe, but the moments where I've stepped back because of fear. And again, I don't know if you've had those moments. I've had those moments, maybe not where I've directly said no to Jesus, but through my silence and through my inaction and through my desire to be comfortable, I've kind of done that. And yeah, that's when I have those moments, like Peter hearing that rooster crow, where it's like, man, like I want to follow you. Like early on, I'm standing with you, Jesus. I'm never gonna deny you. I'm never gonna betray you. I'm never gonna put a hand up to you. Like I get that from Peter. Like I understand that desire and just want to be for Jesus forever and always and never step back. And yet there's these moments where it's like, all right, Jeff, you're up to bat. And Jesus, he's trying, like the Holy Spirit is working in me to say, hey, there's this burden in me. Why don't you go do this? Why don't you say something here? And it's like, I'm kind of in a hurry. Does it have to be right now? And like all these excuses come because it'd be a little uncomfortable. And there's way too many times in my life that I think I've let that fear or desire to be comfortable and not kind of step out direct my path more so than my desire to follow Jesus. And I think that's what kind of we want to just rest in today and think about it. Like Peter thought he could follow Jesus even if it meant dying with him, but we see that he wasn't able to do that in times of crisis. And so I'm kind of asking myself this question, and after this video I'm going to just sit and think, like, why is it so easy sometimes to let fear and comfort direct our paths more than Jesus? And just think about that for you personally. Like, what is it that gets in the way? Is it fear of thinking what other people are going to think about you? Or is it discomfort? Or is it fear? Like, are you like Peter and you're feeling scared? Or just, I don't know. There's so many things that it could be, but hopefully out of this devotion we can sit and think, like, why is it sometimes so easy for us to choose this other path rather than Jesus? So let's wrap it up with today's family activity. Have each member of your family write, "I don't know the man," on a strip of paper. Talk about how all of us, like Peter, wants to follow Jesus, but sometimes we fail. But then wad up the strips of paper and set them in the worship space as a way to remember Jesus died for my sins too. So here's my strip of paper right here, and I'm going to write down, I don't know the man. It's so easy. Maybe we don't directly say this to people. No, I don't know Jesus. Maybe we don't say it like that, but we say it by not stepping in, by not reaching out, by not serving someone when we know we really should. And so I hope that we can wad this up. We can wad these up, we can put them here, and really remind ourselves, like, in those moments of being uncomfortable, let's maybe hear that rooster crow before we deny Jesus 3 times. Let's have that moment where we can think, okay, I'm going to serve Jesus now. I'm going to choose him, even if it means it's going to be uncomfortable for me. And so I hope out of today's devotion, we're able to do that a little more. We'll see you back here again tomorrow for day 5.